Okay, people. So, hey, it's that time, right, for the last UFC card of the year. So, Saturday night sees us with UFC on ESPN plus 57. Derek Lewis v Chris Daukaus in the main event. Oh, how about that, right? How about that? On the poster, it says it all 31 knockouts combined. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. So there is 14 fights on the card, which gives us. Ooh, I'm trying to work this shit out. I think that's there's 6 on the main card, which then gives us 8 fights on the prelims. I feel that's correct. Yeah, I think that's correct. And yo, these are good prelims, people. These really are, you know. A lot of really well put together fights. And when you look at it, there's a lot of fighters in a similar situation, you know, similar situation, which does make for just a lot of intrigue. There's people that want to redeem themselves, that want to put themselves in a good situation, maybe some fighting for their contracts. This is fun as hell. And we've got uh we got one debut, one UFC debut on this card, and it's taking place in the prelims. You know what I mean? So hey, that's all great, right? So when you look at the prelims, man, there's, as I said, look, we've got some fun shit. We've got some fun shit here. I think, right? I think the Marshot Stofus fight is gonna be great, right? And I think so that's the last fight, and the opening fight, Matt Sales against Jordan Ledette. I think this is an interesting one because they're both coming off losses. You know what I mean? They're both coming off losses in this fight. They both came via the Contender Series and both looked really good on that. You know, the big difference being, Sales, he lost his debut. Lost his debut to Shaman Moraes. Won his next fight. And then he lost to Bryce Mitchell via Twister. It was Bryce Mitchell, though. You know what I mean? But that fight, oh no, actually, that wasn't his. Yeah, no, that was his last fight, right? That fight was December 2019. So he's been out 2 years. You know what I mean? He's been out 2 years, which is it's a while, right? It's a while. So there is that. His overall record is 8-3. And then you have got Levette, even Jordan Levitt, who is similar record, 8-1. Now he looks sensational on the Contender. Won his UFC debut against Matt Wyman with that just crazy slam. But then in his next fight, I think it's fair to say, Levette, he looked a little lethargic. It just didn't look like it was there. So, yeah, I think both will want to come out and really let everyone know what the fuck is going down. You know what I mean? Just, let people know. Listen, hey, don't judge me by my last fight, man. Don't judge me by my last fight. You know what I mean? I'm better than that. I'm here to, you know what I mean, say something. Now, I think one of the big differences is the reach, right? So Sales as a 67.5, while Levet 71-inch reach. So I think with that and that just weird style of his, you know, I feel I feel Levet, that's his fight. I think he's going to take that one. But it's interesting, you know? Like our next fight, heavyweight clash, I think it's I think we've got three heavyweight fights. So it's our first of three, you know. Two on the prelims, two. Um this one's an interesting one, right? Because both both fighters are coming off wins, you know what I mean? Both, funny enough, beat Rock Martin in their last fights. But both, it wasn't crazy impressive. You know what I'm saying? But they both shown potential. They both shown a lot of potential to be good, right? To maybe do something in this division. So I think that's the big thing. And again, both came via the Contender Series with good wins, you know? So I think that's the thing with this fight. I think I think I'm gonna say Martin. I think I'm gonna say Martin just because I think Parisian, he's gas tank. Oh, like it looked terrible in that the Porter fight, and then it wasn't that much better in the Martin fight, which was interesting because I would have thought, oh, that's something you're definitely working hard on, but it didn't look great. Now, obviously, there could have been many factors, you know, but if he doesn't improve that, I think Dontel, I think he might have a few more weapons, you know. So I think there's the potential for him to maybe wear Parisian out early and do his thing. But then Mays needs to have his cardio because he can gas too. You know, so this one, hey, it's whoever looks better with the weight cut, right? Whoever did it better, whoever comes in the most conditioned is taking that fight. You know, so another well matched one, both on 2 fight win streaks. It is Raquel Pennington and Macy Chiasson. So this is at featherweight, right? Which, hey, it's not the hugest of divisions. So a very good victory here could get you a crack at the belt, maybe. Now, although it's not going to be soon, you know, after what went down last weekend, Nunes's next fight most likely is going to be that rematch against Pena. So, but this one still, both will want to make some sort of statement to want to show that there's still a threat and to look decisive as well. Because, I think Pennington would probably say that, her last 2 wins weren't exactly decisive. And Shazane, again, they both have wins over Marion Renault, but both they haven't looked like their old selves, let's just say. You know what I mean? So there is that. But I think a big factor in this is the reach, right? So Pennington 67.5, Chiasson 72, 72 inches, which is kind of crazy. Chiasson's the younger of the two by 3 years, but Pennington has the most experience out of the two. But yeah, I think Chiasson, I think we've seen a lot of potential there, especially how she burst on through the Ultimate Warrior. So I'm gonna say Chiasson Macy for the win. But yeah, it's a great fight. You know, then we got Charles Jourdain against Adrian Ewell, right? Again, another good one. Both coming off losses. Um, yeah, Jourdain coming off one, Ewell coming off two, right? Also, both stopped in their last fight. Jourdain by a submission, Ewell by punches. Yeah, so both are gonna come in here wanting to like really make a statement and show, hey, I ain't done. I ain't done. I'm still a threat at this weight class. You know what I mean? And also, hey, the bantamweight division is just insane right now. Actually, no, they're at featherweight. They're fighting at featherweight. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Because yeah, I feel that yeah, we last saw you. I think we last saw you at bantamweight. So but yeah, no. Yeah, both will be wanting to make statements, you know what I mean? Just get back on the winning path. And again, when you look at that reach, Jourdain 69, Ewell 75. 75. Now he doesn't always work behind that jab. Doesn't always work behind that jab, but like we have definitely seen Andrew Ewell look good. And I think he's gonna be desperate because hey, if he loses, that's three in a row, and there's the potential of getting cut, right? So hey, I think Andre Ewell even Andre Ewell is gonna be on a mission, and I think he's gonna pull it out. I think he's gonna save his career, get back on track. We then drop down to the flyweights. Our second of three women's fight on the card. We got Sijara Eubanks against Melissa Gatto. And Eubanks, hey, she's back on the winning path, right? Got that win against Alessi Reed in her last fight. First round stoppage as well. You know what I mean? But Gatto, right? She made her debut UFC 265 on another Lewis card, right? And boy, broke Victoria Leonardo's arm. You know what I mean? She had a great debut. I mean, she really did. Just, whew, she was impressive. She's not tasted defeat yet, not tasted defeat, and she's been putting it on people. She's been putting it on people. Now, obviously, I mean, you could definitely say that Eubanks has fought the tougher opponents, but yeah, Gatto is going to come in with that confidence, and I kind of feel there's been times when Eubanks, it's the confidence that has possibly let her down. So I'm going to say that Gatto, you know what I mean? I feel she's going to be riding that high, and she's going to come in and just continue that winning streak, you know what I mean? So then we have our next heavyweight clash, Justin Tafa against Harry Hunsucker. Interesting thing with this one, both have losses to Jared Vanderara, right? And yeah, both coming off losses. You know, Hunsucker, he's coming off one loss, his UFC debut. Tafa is coming off a couple of losses after the very nice win over Juan Adams. So yeah, I mean Tafa definitely need to win. Hunsucker, he wants one, right? He wants to show that, yeah, like although it was a short notice fight that got him into the UFC, that he deserves to be there. He wants to show that. He wants to show that. But I think it's Tafa that's gonna be the one walking away with the win here. You know, yeah, I think he's Oceania, you know, brethren. He got the win over Hunsucker, and he wants to follow suit. So yeah, I'm saying Justin Tafa is able to right the ship with a win. So then, people, we go to another bantamweight clash. We have Ronnie Barcelas against the debuting Victor Henry that has taken this on real short notice. So crazy Henry, you know, he's not short on experience. He is 21-5. Barcelos is 16-2. So Henry, he's got the most experience out of the two, you know. And although I probably would say that Barcelos has fought the tougher opponents, you know, especially with that win over Saeed Numagedov, right? It is probably, yeah, he's got the most experience, but Henry, you know, he's been fighting over in Japan, so he's fought on cards in front of big crowds. So he's used to a atmosphere. He's used to that vibe. So although, you know, I mean, there are potential for UFC jitters, I would say that Henry, he might be more accustomed to the bigger stage, you know. Hey, he's well versed with the submissions and the stoppages, right? He's got his fair share of subs and knockouts, which does make this interesting. It does make this interesting because Barcelos, you know, he can do a submission, right? And he's got some TKOs himself. So yeah, this is super interesting. I'm gonna say Barcelos just because Henry took it on short notice. I think it's gonna be a fun friggin' fight. You know what I mean? I think it's really gonna be fun. But the fact that Barcelos has been able to have a full camp and do all of that, I think that's gonna just get him this victory. And then our main event, right? We got Gerald Morsha against Dustin Stolfus, which interesting, real interesting. Morsha, two-fight win streak, and has really just turned things around. You know, he'd been on that 2 fight skid, two huge knockouts, real quick ones as well, which definitely is gonna hurt your confidence. But then he comes back and chokes out his next two opponents, chokes them out. And especially in his last fight, after it looked like he was getting handled in that first round. You know what I mean? So Mercer, he's shown that, hey, he's not a joke, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, he had a rough patch, but he's not a joke. Stolfus, after a good fight in the Contender Series, he got that win. He ran up against Carl Daukaus and Rodvaldo Vieira, two very tough opponents, right? Two very tough opponents. So it's an interesting situation for him because he doesn't want to lose 3 in a row, potentially getting cut. And also after coming into the UFC, now he looked good, but it was through an injury. But he did kind of force that injury. But you don't want people thinking, well, yeah, was it a fluke? Was it a fluke that you're here? So he's gonna really want to be showing his thing. Now, he's had a twister, which, hey, not an easy thing to pull, right? That got him his Contender Series fight. So he knows his way around a submission. You know, that's been the way he's really kind of ended fights. So that's what's going to make this interesting, because Mercer, very good with the subs. Very good with the subs, you know? They both lost their original opponents. So, yeah, it works out that they just were like, all right, let's just fight. Let's just fight, which I love that shit. So, yeah, I'm super intrigued. I feel Merchant is going to have the confidence factor coming into this one. So I think I may give him the edge. But boy, it's going to be fun to see who out of the two can do that thing on the ground. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a fun fight and a nice way to bring us in to that main